Chapter 21 of The American Housewife. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lenny. The American Housewife by Anonymous. Chapter 21. Essence of Lemon. Turn gradually onto a dram of the best oil of lemons a couple of ounces of strong rectified spirit. The best method of obtaining the essence of the lemon peel is to rub all the yellow part of the peel off with lumps of white sugar, and scrape off the surface of the sugar into a preserving pot as fast as it becomes saturated with the oil of the lemon. The sugar should be pressed down tight and covered very close. A little of this sugar gives a fine flavor to puddings, cakes, and pies. This mode of preserving the essence of the lemon is superior to the one in which spirit is used, as the fine aromatic flavor of the peel is procured without any alloy. Essence of Ginger. Take 3 ounces of fresh ginger, grate and put it into a quart of French brandy, together with the rind of a fresh lemon. None of the white part of the peel should be put in. Shake the whole up well every day for 8 or 10 days. At the end of that time, it will be fit for use. A little of this, mixed with water or put on a lump of sugar, answers all the purposes of ginger tea and is much more palatable. It is also nice to flavor many kinds of sweetmeats. Spice brandy. Put into a jar French brandy and rose or peach leaves in the proportion of a quart of the former to half a pint of the latter. Let them steep together till the strength is obtained from the leaves. Then turn off the brandy, squeeze the leaves dry, throw them away, and put fresh leaves to the brandy. Continue to go through the above process until the brandy is strongly impregnated with the leaves. Then turn the brandy off clear and bottle it. Keep it corked tight. Lemon or orange peel and peach meats steeped in a bottle of brandy give it a fine flavor. It takes the rind of 3 or 4 lemons or a quarter of a pound of peach meats to flavor a pint of brandy. When all the brandy is used, put in more with a few fresh rinds. Spice brandy is very nice to season cakes, puddings, and mince pies. Rose water. Gather fragrant, full-blown roses on a dry day. Pick off the leaves, and to each peck of them put a quart of water. Put the whole in a cold still, and set the still on a moderate fire. The slower they are distilled, the better will be the rose water. Bottle the water as soon as distilled. To extract the essential oil of flowers. Procure a quantity of fresh, fragrant leaves. Both the stalk and the flower leaves will answer. Cord very thin layers of cotton and dip them into fine Florence oil. Put alternate layers of the cotton and leaves in a glass jar or large tumbler. Sprinkle a very small quantity of fine salt on each layer of the flowers, cover the jar up tight, and place it in a south window exposed to the heat of the sun. In the course of a fortnight, a fragrant oil may be squeezed out of the cotton. Rose leaves, mignonette, and sweet-scented clover make fine perfumes, managed in this way. Perfume bags. Rose and sweet-scented clover leaves, dried in the shade, then mixed with powdered cloves, cinnamon, mace, and pressed in small bags, are very nice to keep in chests of linen or drawers of clothes to perfume them. Cologne water. Turn a quart of alcohol gradually on to the following oils: a couple of drachms of the oil of rosemary, 2 of the oil of lemon or orange flower water, 1 drachm of lavender, 10 drops of oil of cinnamon, 10 of cloves, and a teaspoonful of rose water. Keep the whole stock tight in a bottle. Shake it up well. It will do to use as soon as made, but it is much improved by age. Lavender water. Turn a pint of alcohol slowly on to 1.5 ounces of the oil of lavender, 2 drachms of ambergris. Keep the lavender water in a tight corked bottle. It should be shook up well when first put in. Aromatic vinegar. Mix with a tablespoonful of vinegar enough powdered chalk to destroy the acidity. Let it settle. Then turn off the vinegar from the chalk carefully and dry it perfectly. Whenever you wish to purify an infected room, put in a few drops of sulfuric acid. The fumes arising from it will purify a room where there has been any infectious disorder. Care is necessary in using it, not to inhale the fumes, or to get any of the acid on your garments, as it will corrode whatever it touches. Barley water. Boil a couple of ounces of barley in 2 quarts of water till soft. Pearl barley is the best, but the common barley answers very well. When soft, strain and mix it with a little currant jelly to give it a pleasant acid taste. If the jelly is not liked, turn it, when boiled soft, on to a couple of ounces of figs or raisins and boil it again till reduced to 1 quart. Then strain it for use. Rice gruel. Put a large spoonful of unground rice into 6 gills of boiling water, with a stick of cinnamon or mace. Strain it when boiled soft, and add half a pint of new milk. Put in a teaspoonful of salt, and boil it a few minutes longer. If you wish to make the gruel of rice flour, mix a tablespoonful of it smoothly with 3 of cold water, and stir it into a quart of boiling water. Let it boil 5 or 6 minutes, stirring it constantly. Season it with salt, a little butter, and add, if you like, nutmeg and white sugar to your taste. Water gruel. Mix a couple of tablespoonsful of Indian meal with 1 of wheat flour and sufficient cold water to make a thick batter. If the gruel is liked thick, stir it into a pint of boiling water. If liked thin, more water will be necessary. Season the gruel with salt, and let it boil 6 or 8 minutes, stirring it frequently. Then take it from the fire, put in a piece of butter of the size of a walnut, and pepper to the taste. Turn it on toasted bread cut in small pieces. Coddle. Make rice or water gruel as above. Then strain it, and add half a wine glass of ale, wine, or brandy. Sweeten it with loaf sugar and grate in a little nutmeg. Arrowroot custards. Boil a pint of milk and stir into it, while boiling, a tablespoonful of arrowroot, mixed smooth with a little cold milk. Stir it in well, and let the whole boil 3 or 4 minutes. Take it from the fire to cool. When so, stir in a couple of beaten eggs, sweeten it to the taste, and grate in a small piece of nutmeg. Set the whole where it will boil, stirring it constantly. As soon as it boils up, take it from the fire, and turn it into custard cups. The arrowroot, prepared in the same manner as for the custards, omitting the sugar, spice, and eggs, is excellent food for invalids, and can be eaten when the custards are too rich for the stomach. Wine whey. Stir into a pint of boiling milk a couple of glasses of wine. Let it boil a minute, then take it from the fire and let it remain till the curd has settled. Then turn off the whey and sweeten it with white sugar. Stomachic tincture. Bruise a couple of ounces of Peruvian bark. 1 of bitter dried orange peel. Steep them in a pint of proof spirit a fortnight, shaking up the bottle that contains it once or twice every day. Let it remain untouched for a couple of days, then decant the bitter into another bottle. A teaspoonful of this in a wine-glass of water is a fine tonic. Thoroughwort bitters. Make a strong tea of the thoroughwort, strain it, and when cool, put to a couple of quarts of it half a pint of French brandy, the peel of 2 or 3 fresh oranges, cut into small bits, and half a dozen bunches of fennel or smallage seed. The seed and orange peel should be crowded into a bottle, then the tea and brandy turned in. The bottle should be corked tight. The bitters will keep good almost any length of time, and is an excellent remedy for bilious complaints, and can often be taken when the thoroughwort tea will not sit on the stomach. A wine-glass of these bitters to a tumbler of water is about the right proportion. It should have a little sugar added to it before drinking it. Cough tea. Make a strong tea of everlasting. Strain and put to a quart of it 2 ounces of figs or raisins, 2 of licorice, cut in bits. Boil them in the tea for 20 minutes. Then take the tea from the fire and add to it the juice of a lemon. This is an excellent remedy for a tight cough. It should be drank freely, being perfectly innocent. It is the most effectual when hot. Beef tea. Broil a pound of fresh lean beef 10 minutes. Then cut it into small bits. Turn a pint of boiling water on it, and let it steep in a warm place half an hour. Then strain it and season the tea with salt and pepper to the taste. This is a quick way of making the tea, but it is not so good when the stomach will bear but a little liquid on it, as the following method. Cut the beef into small bits, which should be perfectly free from fat. Fill a junk bottle with them, cork it up tight, and immerse it in a kettle of lukewarm water, and boil it 4 or 5 hours. This way is superior to the first, on account of obtaining the juices of the meat, unalloyed with water, a tablespoonful of it being as nourishing as a teacup full of the other. Moss jelly. Steep carragua or Irish moss in cold water a few minutes to extract the bitter taste. Then drain off the water, and to half an ounce of moss put a quart of fresh water and a stick of cinnamon. Boil it till it becomes a thick jelly, then strain it and season it to the taste with white wine and white sugar. This is very nourishing and recommended highly for consumptive complaints. Sago jelly. Rinse 4 ounces of sago thoroughly, then soak it in cold water half an hour. Turn off the water and put to it a pint and a half of fresh cold water. Let it soak in it half an hour. Then set it where it will boil slowly, stirring it constantly. Boil with it a stick of cinnamon. When of a thick consistency, add a glass of wine and white sugar to the taste. Let it boil 5 minutes, then turn it into cups. Tapioca jelly. Take 4 tablespoonfuls of tapioca, rinse it thoroughly, then soak it 5 hours in cold water enough to cover it. Set a pint of cold water on the fire. When it boils, mash and stir up the tapioca that is in the water, and mix it with the boiling water. Let the whole simmer gently with a stick of cinnamon or mace. When thick and clear, mix a couple of tablespoonfuls of white sugar with half a tablespoonful of lemon juice and half a glass of white wine. Stir it into the jelly. If not sweet enough, add more sugar and turn the jelly into cups. End of chapter 21.